I'm Will, and welcome back. So I was tagged months ago to do the Honest Booktuber tag by the wonderful Harriet Rosie, who has a playlist of tags on her channel that she creates these fantastic original tags, and you really need to check them out. And she's really cool, by the way. I like her content. Nice. I mean, Brits just do it better, don't they? Brits booktube better. I need that on a t-shirt. Brits booktube better. Anyway, here's the questions. So, question 1, have you ever lied about reading a book? No. Not for booktube. When I was younger and I had the ego and the like, oh yeah, I've read this, I've read that, it's just really, it just feels like stupid teenage me. But no, not for booktube. Every book I've talked about here I've read, despite some people commenting that my books don't even look like they've been opened. They have been opened. I'm just very good at looking after them because I'm really OCD about how I don't like cracked spines, I don't like ripped pages. It just drives me insane. So I do look after my books. 2, have you ever avoided a book because of controversy about it or the writer? No. Oddly enough, controversy will probably make me want to read the book even more, but I also firmly believe that you have to separate the art from the artist. I mean, the only exception to that is Orson Scott Card, where I think he's just a bigot, and where I can't stand his writing, but for very different reasons. So there is a nice separation there, but I always believe the artist and the art are not the same thing, and I think a lot of people on BookTube don't realise that. 3, have you ever been sent a book for free and not disclosed it? Probably by accident. I will admit that. I've probably done it by accident, where I've just genuinely forgot, because they all do kind of end up in one. If you could see what's next to my bed, like a big mound of crap, basically, and I do forget what's been sent and what hasn't. So, probably by accident. 4, have you ever bought a book with no intention of reading it? No. For literature, for books, no. Sometimes when I was younger, I used to buy a complete series and then take a really long time to read it, but not now. I don't. It's just, what's the point of owning books you're never going to read? Books are not pretty objects, they are books. It doesn't matter what they look like, it's the text inside that matters. Also, I'm a big ebook fan. 5, have you ever got caught in drama? Yes, and usually I do wonder where the hell this came from, but that's just the nature of YouTube, I think. As a content creator on this platform, you leave yourself open to criticism and to people to put words in your mouth and twist what you say and what you do, and it's just the nature of the beast, especially with the demographic of viewership being very young on BookTube, which does not help. I mean, when I was younger, I'm glad that YouTube was not a thing in my early to mid to late teens, because... Question 6, have you ever had a hate comment, and how did you respond, or did you respond? Yes, I've had a few of those, although I have to admit, I don't tend to respond unless they're really personal, or if they're genuine criticism, I'll respond, and I actually kind of enjoy constructive criticism. What I don't like is people that just, like, I got fat shamed in a comment. I know I'm not the skinniest guy on the planet, but I got called a fat beeper by someone. And also now in my sort of advanced, you can change your community settings, you can flag words. So if people post links, or if people post certain words, it will flag the comment for me to approve, because it's a bit safer that way, and people get really quite nasty sometimes. So I tend to avoid it before it starts, and I'd recommend that to anyone who does this. Go on your community settings. Also, people posting porn links. That's fun. Not. 7, have you ever made a video just because you knew it would get views? I think every tag video I've ever made I know is going to do well. That's why everyone on this platform likes tags. And I know there's like this whole thing, it's really unpopular for booktubers to talk about views and numbers, and I do, openly. And people accuse me of only doing stuff for the views, which I find really strange. but it's more because I have a fascination with the algorithm, and it's like a weird little obsession of mine, like algorithms on social media and what gets seen and what doesn't. It's once you go into that and you start reading about it, it's absolutely fascinating, and I would recommend anyone to read about it if you make content on any platform, because it's absolutely brilliant and scary at the same time. It's strange how an algorithm can dictate what you see. I've never made a video directly for the views, although I think, like I said, tag videos and sort of ranty reviews do tend to get high numbers, but I try not to do too many rant reviews because they're quite boring. But anyway, 8. If you could go back to the beginning of your channel, what would you do? Would you do anything differently? Yes. There's a lot. I would do the newbie tag to start with, like make that my first video, rather than struggle through and be stupid and think, oh, if I do loads of reviews and talk about books that I like, people will get to know the books that I'm reading. Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. And booktube overall is not particularly interested in reviews, although reviews have more of a shelf life. Like a book review will keep building over time, where a wrap-up just kind of dies within 48 hours. But yeah, that's probably what I would do differently. I would also learn how to edit and lighting and how to format videos. I was absolutely pants at it, so yay for stupidity on my part. So there we go. 9. Are there any channels you wish you could be more like? You know what? There are countless YouTube channels that I do feel kind of envious of in that sense, because I'm not naturally like the most talkative person. I do kind of like a lot of what I watch is not booktube related. I don't watch a huge amount of booktube, and that's being really honest. What I do watch are people like Swoop. I always describe her as my spirit animal, because I'm like, I relate to her on so many levels. She is fantastic, and I wish I could be more like that. Partly because of time, and partly because booktube norms. I'm kind of more off the wall stuff I wish I could do a bit more of. Question 10. Some things you love about your channel. Oh god. I think it's the community around it. Like, in booktube, one thing I have learned is you don't actually come into the community. It's not like this warm, welcoming, accepting place that everyone thinks it is. You make your own community. You get talking to people. You do it. And if you don't fit a certain standard of booktube, it's even harder. So it's the community I've built around it and the people I've got talking to. And recent events do show me I have a lot of friends within the booktube community that and the bookish community that shocked me, to be honest. I always thought I was more alone in this community, and actually I've been blown away by people. So I'm going to tag 2 people. I'm going to tag Ghost Reader. I really like his stuff. Follow him on Twitter, by the way. He is brilliant. And YouTube, obviously. But he is brilliant and a real mix of interesting books. And Scott of the Book Invasion. I love this guy. He is brilliant as well, and I enjoy his content and I like the videos he makes, and we have some very similar reading tastes. So anyway, like and subscribe as always, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.